The reason that I have 3 of these 2 buses is because I use them for different applications. Instead of just having one EQ and one compressor on the mix bus, I'm splitting that mix bus into 3 different, well, for the most part, 3 different submixes. The top one up here gets all the vocals, lead and background vocals. The next one down gets the bass and the drums and percussion. And the next one down gets all the instruments that would go out to the sides, like guitars, keyboards, horns, strings, all that kind of stuff. And the reason that I wanted independent control of these 3 things is that on the outputs of these, where they come up on the patch bay, I do processing with other pieces of gear for either control or for coloration. Matter of fact, on 2 of these I have Bax EQs, and they work great. You'll notice I have 2 of them here. The top one here is pretty much welded to, in the patch bay, to the bass and the drums and percussion submix. And the next one down is for all the side instruments. And the reason that I use these, other than that they sound good and I trust them to never introduce any artifacts to that huge portion of the mixes, begins with the filters. The filtering here basically lets me get rid of any of the low-end build-up. It's interesting that if you have no cut on there, and then you introduce the cut, all of a sudden it feels like your mix gets louder because, again, your speakers are not, they're not working so hard to reproduce frequencies that people are only going to feel and not hear. And conversely, when you get up to the top, you have no cut, and it's like, oh, my mix is nice and bright, and then you cut it at 70K, and it's like, whoa, that just got really cool. I didn't know that there were a swarm of bumblebees up there in the digital world. And you're filtering supersonically. You're filtering at 70K. And then if you want to go down to 24K, thing that's great about that is that you go from like this sort of bright 80s, 90s, Sonics record with all these high frequency sparkly things to something where it's just nice and gooey and sweet and smooth on the top end. More like a Beatles record or like a Seal record. You just get that really great top end.
Con las ganas de decirte todo lo que siento. Qué fácil para ti salir corriendo y dejarme así. Debajo de mis pies dejaste grietas en el suelo. Te fuiste corazón y me tocó perder a mí.
I really wanted like a lot of top end stuff. So I'm actually boosting 3 dB. So it's really coming down into some of the meat of the snare too. But it's got all that cymbal stuff. And then up here, if you don't put this high cut in there, you'll find that there's a bunch of digital like mayhem going on, sort of supersonically, that you don't realize until you take it away. So you put the cut down at 70K, and it's like, oh wow, the top end just really cleaned up.
Con las ganas de decirte todo lo que siento. Qué fácil para ti salir corriendo y dejarme así. Debajo de mis pies dejaste grietas en el suelo. Te fuiste corazón y me tocó perder a mí. Me quedo con las ganas de decirte todo lo que siento. Qué fácil para ti salir corriendo y dejarme así. Debajo de mis pies dejaste grietas en el suelo. Te fuiste corazón y me tocó perder a mí.